Welcome to the Quick Stop Formula One podcast. My name is Nyasha, and you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate that. Joining me, as ever, is my co-host and co-founder, Thandie Sabanda. Look at that.
Hi, guys.
Hi. I'll
How
say
are we?
hi back for you. Hi.
Hello.
Good, mate. You all right? How you doing? Got your wine?
Good. I'm on the rosé because this is a week of celebrations.
It's a celebration.
Yeah.
You know what this is. It's a
Yeah.
celebration. That's a Kanye West song. Is non-gender specific. So I'm gonna have to beep that out, aren't I? I've decided I'm just gonna have to beep out all swear words. That's we're moving as we move forward now. Because you know what, yeah?
Mm.
I was on a space after. Was it after the race? I think it was after the race. I was on a space.
It wasn't after race. It was after qualifying.
After qualifying. Yeah, it was after qualifying. Yeah, I was on a space. I think it was Thanos' space. Yeah, maybe it was...
That space was mad.
Was it that space? Yeah, I can't remember who it was. But like, someone is like being brought on stage, and they were like, "Oh, hi. What do you think of the Mercedes?" Mercedes, these mother, they took off last night. And I was like, oh my god. I was like, is this what it sounds like when we're swearing on the pod? Because my ears feel attacked right now. I was like, I cannot do that. So from now on, we're beeping swear words. I need to make a note.
Including the word my that's now a swear word too.
So I'm gonna have to. Oh no, I'm gonna have to mute that.
Write down.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be hard to talk about the report without mentioning. Look, we're just talking here. We've got a guest on the show.
Our resident DJ.
Resident. I feel like, we're just like, we pay like a 20 a week and then we just come, play the tunes all the girls like. And then that's it. And then the first guest to do back-to-back. Not even a guest anymore. Because you know what, yeah? I'll be honest with you guys. We actually had a pretty cool guest lined up for this week. Yeah, we had a pretty cool guest lined up for this week. Yeah, who works in F1. Like it could have been it would have been a really nice conversation, and also it's someone that we've quote tweeted before, and it's been it could have got a bit spicy. But the events of this weekend, I had to get a little. Oh yeah, we can't say that.
You can't help yourself. Nah, no. Sick of this podcast. I'm sick of it.
Can't help it.
This is why they don't with us.
This is why, bro. This is why there's no sponsors. This is why we're not on Sky Sports. This is why. Anyway, look, guys, we've got Tommy on the pod. Tommy. Welcome, Tommy. How's
it going? It's all good. Nah, I'm honoured to be on again. When
Tommy, he made out like we don't appreciate it. We totally do appreciate it.
We do. No,
I know you do, but when certain things happen, you need to make sure you have a certain type of guest.
Do you know what I mean? I just want to keep it real. I want to be. You know what it is, yeah? Sometimes the guests, it's good to have those outside things and whatever. But you know what? This weekend was a family affair.
Yeah. I was going to say, this is family business.
Family business right now that we need to conduct.
Can't be with us. What's Kanye West? Okay, so let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Okay, cool. Yeah. So, hello, welcome to the show again. We are here to first and foremost. Wow, this has been the most disjointed start ever. Welcome everyone. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, make sure you're following us, subscribe to us. If you're on Spotify, you can give a review. You can give us a 5-star review. Last week there was 52. Okay. This week I'm gonna count it. 81. Oh God, thank you so
Wow.
much. I was about to get at these men. I was like, better stop. So guys, if you're on Spotify, give us a 5-star review. It really helps. It's helping us grow our audience. If you're on Apple, you can leave us a review as well. Those things really help. And if you're watching, subscribe. Okay.
Also, if you have us on Instagram or Twitter,
Yeah.
stop calling Nyasha uncle because he gets really upset about it and he doesn't appreciate it. The boy is not an uncle. He's a young boy. Yes, he has an uncle mentality. He loves to rant. We all love to rant. But he's not an uncle. And look at his gorgeous haircut. Can we have a round of applause for his haircut?
Oh, you know what? Yeah. Thank you, Thandie. You're.
Man hit the button for his own haircut. I love it.
I hit it and I was like, why did I do that, bro? I felt like I just liked my own tweet. I can't. I am, guys. I am not old. Okay, I don't know where this has come from. I'm not old. You know what it is, yeah? Because I'm about to be old. I'm teetering on it. I'm not gonna lie. Oldness is welcoming me into its arms slowly but surely. Okay, but I'm not there yet. Stop putting years of my life. Okay, I love you guys. Stop calling me uncle. I'm not old. So, but thank you to the fans, you guys. Bahrain Grand Prix, first race of the season, 2022. We're leaving all that 2021 behind. Start of a new season, new regulations, new cars.
Facts.
Tommy, you like cars? You know cars?
Oh, yeah, love cars. Love me some cars.
You love you some cars. Love me some cars. What are your thoughts on now? I guess we've sort of been testing, but now we've seen them all, through qualifying, low fuel, high engine modes. How are you feeling about the new cars? How they look, like they handle? They look a bit. Obviously, they are slower, but they look a bit clumsy at times.
They look. I mean, the cars look faster when they're not moving. I think. I was watching this race, and this is probably going to be an unpopular opinion, but I looked at everyone that I was watching it with because I had like friends and family over, and I said, Loki, I think last year's cars were better. I think they were talking about raceability. I don't think much happened to justify, say, raceability. I think the playing field's evened more because it's like a fresh start for everything, for everyone, but I feel like the cars look too cumbersome, and because they're running stiffer suspension because of ground effect, the cars are bouncing a lot, so it's taken away from the sensation of speed when they're moving. I think it looks like the cars are just clunky, and it doesn't look exciting to see them go past, especially when they're going through corners. But one thing I can say is that it was nice that we had like Haas up high, and it's kind of an unknown, but at the same time it's like,
why is a Haas up high?
I mean, like, I would have really loved if they evened out the playing field without making the car so slow. I feel like the car should have been faster. But I don't know. I think slowing the cars down is kind of like it's having like the reverse effect of what they hoped, because the F2 race looks faster than the Formula 1 race.
The F2 race and the F2 race is still exciting as well. What I would say is, a big thing about F1 is the cars looking sleek and fast when they go through corners, and I don't get that. However, we'll see. I'll be interested to see how these cars look in Monaco. I'm not gonna lie. Singapore, actually,
Monaco,
Singapore.
were they even fit?
Well,
like two of them.
Yeah,
and Saudi next week, Jeddah is going to be interesting as well. So that circuit looked fast last year. It looked so good last year, seeing the cars move around. But now with the bouncing, and they're going to have to do a lot of
the hydraulics.
Now they're going to have to do a lot of braking earlier.
Yeah, and
the cars are heavier, so they won't be. I don't know.
It's not great. I mean, look, no. I guess well. I think the jury's still out. I think the drivers are saying it's easy to follow and so forth. And we did get that battle at the front, but also we can come back to that battle because I don't think that is entirely down to the new regulations. I think
you know what I mean? That's just like a battle like we would have seen.
Yeah, I think that's DRS, and that's one driver with racing intelligence and one that doesn't. So,
Right.
I don't know, man. Look, it's
So-
But all in all, the race did just leave a lovely taste in all of our man. Like,
it did.
I think
Yeah.
it left a lovely taste because we got a result that was better than what we expected. But I think watching it, watching it as just a viewer or someone that hasn't got any like skin in the game, as they say,
Right.
I think the race was actually boring until we got the engine failures and then the
Oh yeah, and the crying
the race was boring up until that part. Do you know what I'm saying? And that isn't because of the new regs. That's just because of reliability that we would have probably got regardless. We probably could have got more excitement with the older cars. But I don't know. Let's see. I'm calling it early though, but I think that these cars, when they first revealed the concept images, they looked sleek and low and futuristic. And now it's like they just look like Indy cars.
Yeah, they do look like Indy cars actually.
Yeah.
And the noses are really high off the ground, so they look very fake.
Like hammerhead sharks.
Yeah.
Well, let's see, especially with the mud flaps as well. So look, we'll see. I think like a lot of things, maybe it's too early. We'll see. And I think also this year might be a season of fine-tuning the regulations, and I think maybe next year we'll be able to get to a set of regulations where maybe it will allow the cars to be faster and maybe ride high, and maybe they'll introduce active suspension and and so forth, and we'll go from there. But yeah, interesting seeing the cars at full tilt. Not as majestic as I thought it'd be, but nevertheless, Thandie, on Saturday we had we had an interesting qualifying session. I you know what? One thing that doesn't get spoken about in Formula One is how good qualifying is. Like qualifying,
I always liked quali more than the actual race most times.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Qualifying is all. I missed qualifying. I forgot how much tension you get and especially like with how Mercedes are at the moment. Just kind of not. I was knowing there wasn't going to be a pole, but was like, how far off is this going to be? And like, who's going to get pole between Verstappen and Leclerc? And there's drama throughout the field from bottom to top. What were your thoughts on qualifying? And I guess before we go into Mercedes, let's focus on Red Bull and Ferrari for a second.
I was only going to talk about Ferrari, to be fair.
Yeah. So Ferrari come out and essentially they look like they are the quickest car.
They have allegedly been working on their car since last year, and the whole time they kept saying, okay, we want to see it all showing this year, and I guess we are kind of seeing
it. we are seeing it, right?
You know what I'm saying?
This is in 2 years, Thandie. I think they're
really.
So they basically
this is 2 years in the making. You better get a championship this year, lads, because then that's bare embarrassing.
I'm going to give you a contract for that. Look, it's you would hope after 2 years of basically sacking off 2020 and sacking off last year, and they had more time in the wind tunnel. So thoughts on Charlie Leclerc?
But to be fair, you can do that when you're not competing for the championship. So
you can.
You have Ferrari's budget. You can say so. You can't really praise them for focusing on the car because that was their only choice.
Yeah, but to be fair, you could say that they used their meaty bum days wisely.
Yeah,
there's some bums who'll sit and be bums, but maybe they were actually trying.
Yeah,
not to be bums.
So,
I hear what you're saying.
Like Aston Martin.
Yeah,
we're at home watching Jeremy Kyle all day. Do you know what I mean? Smoking inside. Watching Jeremy Kyle.
Continuously going to the corner shop.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? In their pajamas.
Jacks. Yeah. But, like Ferrari were actually trying to apply for jobs.
Did some online courses.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
See?
Well, they do have the largest budget in Formula One, so...
So maybe you know what Ferrari are.
No, because I know where you're going with this. Don't say what I think you want to say.
I'm not going to say
Don't say it anyway.
I'm not going to say anything nasty.
Okay, go on.
I was going to say they're like... I'm going to say they're like, in the London creative scene, there's a lot of people you think are like, they're in the trenches with us, they're poor, but really they just got like loads of money from their dad. And then and then everyone's like, oh, I'm broke. They're like, I'm broke. I was like, oh, you've got a lot of money in your account.
Yeah, trust me.
Like, your dad pays your rent. So that's what I was gonna say. See, very nice. So yeah, look, Ferrari, they've put that budget to use. They have put that time to use. I think Mattia Binotto deserves some credit because I know there were a lot of people on him saying, Ferrari, you've been, obviously had the illegal engine in 2019. And then after that, your car is not great at all for 2 years. And, he's always said we're focusing on 2022. And I think they're pretty lucky, I guess, in that because of COVID, there was an extra year added onto the development pipeline for these cars. And they've come out and Charles Leclerc.
Guys, so can we be clear on how to pronounce Charles' name? It's Charles. Charles?
You went to correct everyone and you don't even know yourself.
No,
I beg.
Look at this energy.
No, I'm asking.
I think it's Charles. I think there's no C's. I think it's like Charles Leclerc.
Charles Leclerc.
Charles Leclerc.
No, I'm just trying to, put some respect on a man's name.
Oh, now you want to respect him.
You want to respect him.
That's a very different tone to end of last year. I remember speaking about him last year, and you were like, "He makes bad mistakes. Mistakes. He's always on another planet." Now it's put some respect on his name. Please be consistent with your hatred. Please.
There's a lost file somewhere, with Thandie going in on Charles Leclerc.
And 3 weeks ago. Do you guys not remember last week? I was like, the Ferrari looked nice, and you guys were like,
yeah.
I'm trying to be nice here. But you guys were like, tomato.
It feels like, it feels like you're a bit of a turncoat. That's the problem we've got here.
Are you calling me a glory hunter? Come on now. You knew damn well who I was when you picked me up. Okay? Charles Leclerc.
And they put on pole position Max Verstappen about a 10th off. So Red Bull looking great, and obviously Sergio Perez managing to qualify within 0.3 of Max as well, which that's his job, I guess. Lowest bar in the history of teammates. Literally not required to beat his teammate.
Lol.
That is a sweet gig. Like, you're here to lose to Max. Like, you're crazy. Anyway.
Some people enjoy being the side chick. Do you know what I mean?
For sure. And look, I guess it depends where you're the side chick you're doing. Like, he's level. It's like Red Bull took him out the hood. Picked him up in a limo.
That's what I mean.
I'm going to put you up in an apartment.
Put you in the AP.
You go in. You said it. Bills all paid. Netflix there. Chill. That's I speak about that like I've got no experience of that. So
much future.
Yeah. So Red Bull, surprising, I guess, Tommy, that I think a lot of people, obviously after testing, were expecting them to be the fastest car. I feel like maybe even Verstappen was expecting them to be the fastest car, but in qualifying, they were about a 10th off, and in the race it just seemed like they didn't quite have that race pace. Were you surprised at that, or did you always have Ferrari as like the number one kind of team going into the first race?
I don't know. I felt like there was a Ferrari hype train going on even before Ferrari showed their car or did anything. Everyone was like, "Yeah, Ferrari's going to be the best next year." I was like, "But how does everyone know this?" I think Ferrari were really good this weekend, but whether or not this stays on every weekend. I mean, it's Formula One. You just never know what's like. One week, one team's killing it, coming on pole. The next week is another team. So, I mean, Ferrari are looking good, and anyone that's beating Red Bull is fine by me. So, yeah. Take
that. Thandie.
I'm just glad that all my ops had a terrible day at the office. I'm just happy nobody had a good day. Yeah.
What? Who are your ops then? Talk to me. Who are the ops?
Okay, so let's round up the ops. Okay,
round them up.
Okay, so the entire Red Bull system. I'm glad you all had a terrible day.
Oh, but you're skipping to the race.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought we were still.
Yeah, no. It was still 2 seconds.
Okay.
I'm trying to build up to it. Because if we start going in quickly, I feel like I don't know where it might descend once we start.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm trying to like lead up to it. But I'll tell you who did have a very bad day at the office. Those McLaren guys.
I swear McLaren were good at like they were getting good.
Barcelona,
When?
yeah. Barcelona.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like,
but Barcelona, and then it's just
then the car just. So they must have been pushing the car in Barcelona, boy. They must have been just going for it because what I saw yesterday, but McLaren's the new Haas,
bro. Like that.
It's facts though.
It's facts, no?
Though, isn't it? Because people are forming Kevin Magnussen stan accounts.
Yeah.
And nobody about Lando Norris no more.
Hey, these guys. You have
to block out that swear word.
Yeah. You know the thing is, I was like, I'm gonna block it out, and I need to get a pen and write it down, because otherwise, I'm literally gonna have to spend an hour tonight listening to the whole thing. Normally, I just scrub through
talking and put it write it down.
Hold on, I think it was about 20 seconds ago. We'll just say 20 minutes in.
Let's say 20 minutes. Love it. Look, here's my little swear notepad. we're going to auction this off in like 10 years. Like, here is the Quickstop F1 swear pad with original swear notes from the second season. 21. I think that was like the first 5 minutes. There was a swear word every day.
Yes.
So McLaren. So yeah, where did they qualify? Because let me find out where they qualified. It was
I just
bad.
didn't see them this weekend. You just did not see McLaren.
Active.
Didn't Ricciardo come last?
He did, man. He did. I mean, Ricciardo, yeah.
And do you know what? No. Let's talk about this, because he's on Drive to Survive, acting like he's the guy. And Netflix are bigging him up like he's the guy. And he just really hasn't been the guy for a couple of years now, you know?
I mean, he hasn't been the guy for a couple of years. What is funny about Daniel Ricciardo is quoted as saying that he doesn't really understand engineering.
That's how he said he doesn't understand world affairs and world events. Remember that time?
He doesn't understand anything. He just vibes and fucking. So to the listeners, I was just sticking my tongue out. But he's so essentially what I'm trying to say is he went to Renault trying to be the big man, but you can't develop a car. So you can't do what Lewis Hamilton did and go to a lesser team and develop the car into world champions, because you're not staying at the circuit till late with the engineers going over everything day after day, night after night. You're not in the sim like that. Like, do you know what I mean? Last year, I remember he was saying, this shit, I've started going in the sim, and it's like, bro, someone like you should be in the sim early, bro.
Yeah, man.
Carlos Sainz moved to Italy. He's they're saying he's at Maranello every day, and that's why he was able to get in that car and just drive it. And it's and we're seeing on Drive to Survive as well. You would think that every driver would just spend all their time doing as much driving as possible, but we saw with Yuki, and we saw it's not. Again, why I don't want to bring everything back to Hamilton, but it's funny when people say Hamilton just gets in the fastest car and drives, but this guy is an engineer as well as a driver, and he's a key part of developing that car. So McLaren could be fucked if all of these issues. Sorry, McLaren could be they could be because
he's not doing his own work.
He's not, and we don't know how good Lando Norris is at that side of things. They've got really bad issues. I was just looking at the qualifying now. Ricciardo, obviously you've got to give him some slack. He did have COVID, didn't do testing.
18th.
So yeah, he was 18th. Lando Norris 13th. But where they finished in the race was, there was strategy in there as well. But they finished 14th and 15th. The only two drivers behind them were Nicholas Latifi in the Williams, who I will come back to, and Nico Hulkenberg. So who stepped in. That car
that's really bad.
and from going from fighting for third, fourth to where they are now, and it doesn't look like a quick fix. And the thing is, it's not just they've got brake issues, they've got like cooling issues, they've got obviously. Again, I guess we can kind of talk about it. One of the things that was noticed in qualifying was that the bottom six
all Mercedes
drivers were all
powertrains.
Mercedes. Oh, sorry, yeah. Bottom one, so Hulkenberg, Ricciardo, Stroll, Latifi. So bottom four were Mercedes powered cars. So
is that coincidence?
So
or is that something
I
deeper?
hope it is.
Well, I think it's a bit of both. I'm not gonna lie. So I think yes, I think the Mercedes. I think there was Toto did. I think someone mentioned something about Toto saying that they are not running the engine on full beans because of reliability, and of course we've seen what can happen when your engine starts to conk out. Red Bull, pricks. So like, we've seen that. So I guess they're not running on full power. So there's that. But also, I think each team can look at themselves and think, okay, look, we know McLaren have issues galore. Williams were never going to be a fast team. Aston Martin, I guess, you look at that and like, but where were they last year? And how? So I personally, I think there is an issue with the Mercedes engine, and I don't think it's turned up to 100, and I don't think I think maybe Mercedes are naturally cautious with things like this. But I guess, I guess the other teams do need to look in the mirror as well, but it's not a good sign, is it? Because then you've got Ferrari teams like Haas and Alfa Romeo.
Fucking
Thandie,
what?
your stepson. Valtteri Bottas.
What about him?
He's done a madness. P6.
What is it a madness though? You're using a few big words to be fair. Not madness. Wasn't that amazing?
What? So what? Getting an Alfa Romeo to qualify at 6th isn't good.
But did he drive backwards in the race?
There you go.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Okay, because there's a reason.
That's typical Bottas right there.
That's typical Bottas nature.
I'm surprised he didn't put it on pole and finish last.
Yeah, definitely. Bottas. Sometimes he'll go in and he'll really be doing well, and then he just goes off with the fairies, doesn't he? Like he just goes off.
Oh my god!
Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and that man cannot wear a crown.
I mean, yeah. Look, I was trying to cue you up to give him some credit. We're not going to do that. So let's just get at him. Look. It was a great performance. The Alfa Romeo looks great. Obviously, Ferrari engines look good in that. He obviously will, I guess, in the race, he did step back. And look, I think it was interesting to see. There were people who I think let's have a conversation. I want to have a conversation. There were people. How much? As Mercedes, people are interested in Mercedes' success, I guess. People were very quick to condemn George for his qualifying performance this weekend. I guess, he qualified P9. He got out-qualified by Bottas. There is a distinct lack of trust with George Russell.
Really?
I think, amongst the section of Mercedes fans.
That's really interesting.
That's
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic.
Oh, no. So I'm being. There was discourse in spaces.
I'm talking about Thandie.
Oh, right. Thandie. This is.
I'm being 100% sarcastic because I've been talking about how we don't trust that. I don't trust him.
I mean,
right now.
What? Okay, Tommy, I'll come to you.
Yeah.
I'll come to you. Thandie, because no, you know what? Yeah, I think this is an interesting conversation to have because I've obviously outwardly people would think, Quickstop is fun. They love George because I am very public in the fact that I want him. I think he's great. I think he's going to succeed. To support him, but what is it that you and I think a lot of other people will listen to this and resonate don't trust about George? What is it
I
that
think they're really just big boots to fill. So we talk a lot about how the Red Bull seat was always big boots to fill, but nobody really had a chance to talk about the Mercedes seat as a second driver. You are literally driving after Lewis Hamilton. And so you have to be this very special person because Lewis brings so much to Mercedes. So I saw a lot of commentary online about people like, oh, George has got he's got a clothing deal now. I love that for him. Oh, he stopped wearing the slacks. I love that for him. But you know what? Like, it's a bit like a stepdad that just comes into the family. He's making breakfast. He's dressing different. He wants to listen to the same music as you guys, but we're still skeptical about you, bruv. We don't know who you are. So maybe we might give you a chance. But, you know, like, these are big boots to fill.
So you got so the jury's out basically. It's not full adulation and support until you've seen results.
Yeah, because his glory was not something that was like continuous. People just liked him because of that one event.
Well, there's that. There's the Mr. Saturday thing, which I definitely want to interrogate because there's someone let me tell you now. We didn't pepper him after Abu Dhabi, but Nicholas Latifi, I am going to circle the block for you because I just
like I don't know we had a conversation with Paris, and Paris was like, "Don't even try it." Shout out Paris. Paris was like, "Don't you touch Latifi."
Really?
Don't you touch Latifi?
Why?
I mean, I'm not asked. Go for it.
She's what? Is she protecting him?
Yeah, I think she was.
Why?
She was like, "Don't touch him." I remember we were watching the race, and I think she was like,
"Oh yeah,
leave him alone."
No.
Touch him, okay?
I love you, Paris, but no. I think I was too busy crying like to listen to that. Tommy, what are your thoughts on George Russell? Look, do
you trust him, Tommy?
I trust George Russell. I think when I see him, you can tell
invest all your coins in him.
I would. I think he's a natural born team leader. I think he
would
will
you put
do
your house on him.
I wouldn't put my house on anyone. Just like
you stupid. House, bro.
I ain't stupid. Like what?
Are you putting your coins on him? Like, are you investing?
Yeah, definitely. I think George Russell will be. I think when the time comes for Lewis to retire, George Russell is going to be an enormous figure for that team, and I think he's proven himself in the junior formulas. He's proven himself in Formula One in a Williams. For me, he's done way more than enough. And I think one thing he shows that I really appreciate is consistency and maturity. When you listen to him talk after the races, when he's being interviewed, you can tell that he has a very good understanding of how the team works, how the car works, and how Formula One works most of all. And I think he gets a lot of flack because I think as a Lewis fan myself, I think a lot of Lewis fans were threatened with the comparisons that a lot of pundits were making about George Russell and taking over Lewis Hamilton, being the new Mercedes guy.
Yeah.
And that really threatened and intimidated a lot of Lewis fans to be like, oh no, we're worried. But I was never worried because I knew Lewis is the guy. But I think George Russell as well, I think has a lot of talent, but at the same time, he has enough respect for Lewis to come into that team and know where he stands. Yeah. And I think I was watching something where it was like, they were talking about this year and they don't think George Russell is going to try and upset the balance because everyone has a thorough understanding of what happened to Lewis last year and what Lewis deserves. So I think the team is fully behind, making sure that Lewis gets that 8th world title. And then from there, I think you're going to see George Russell like kind of bloom and be more willing to like challenge Lewis. But I think for now, he's just being respectful. And I think he's being a very good driver. And honestly, I would put money on George Russell and I would say that I'm a George Russell fan. Like I genuinely am. And I think he's just a nice person. I don't think he's a bad person.
No, I don't think he's a bad person at all. However, just being a skeptic, I am.
Look, I understand that. I understand. No, Thandie, I get it. And this is not to. Also, I can't sit here and say people shouldn't slander Russell when I spent a whole year slandering Bottas, right? It would be really hypocritical of me to try and police people saying like slandering him for getting P9 in a Mercedes, because if Bottas has got P9 in a Mercedes last year, I would have done a fucking fan cam on it. I would have gone in. This whole podcast would have been dedicated. Like first half an hour would have like gone in. So bless his soul. So we can't say anything. What I would say is, Tom, I think you made a really good point. It's not from inside Mercedes where talk of turmoil and upsetting Lewis is coming from. It's all outside of Mercedes.
Exactly.
And I do think that as fans, I think we notice that. I think even that big up Naomi Schiff, great presenter, the most beautiful girl on TV right now. But she was really pushing this narrative of George challenging Lewis. You know when someone's drunk the Kool-Aid and it's like, why are you on Sky? You're on Sky now and you're talking about this. But I don't want to get at Naomi because it's really cool that she's on TV and she's doing a good job, and she is. We're not gonna go there. But so like I just want it's not about I think when I look at George himself, I don't see any issues. But also, what's one of his nicknames? Like, PR63 instead of like GR63. And like he is very media trained. He does say the right things. Yeah. But sometimes snakes do say the right things and do act in the right way. So I don't
think he's a snake. I don't think he'd ever snake Lewis. I think he definitely showed his loyalty as being one of the first drivers who spoke out when the whole thing happened. He was literally tweeting within seconds. Yeah.
This is unacceptable.
Yeah, like he wasn't having it. So I don't think he's a snake.
Yeah. And so also this weekend, he wasn't trying to fight Lewis this weekend. It was so obvious. If that was Bottas would have been like, I'm going to take this guy out. Yeah. And we talk about George Russell qualifying P9. He set his time before Lewis set his time. And also, he's in a new environment and it's a new type of cars. I know it's the same for everyone. But I think to be P9 and finish P4, you can't cuss him. Because if that was Bottas, he would have finished P16. And that's facts.
I think we saw, didn't we? Like, I think there was a comparison where after obviously on lap 1 or like at the start of the race, George was 9th, Bottas was 6th. And then at the end of lap 2, George was 6th, Bottas was like 11th or something. Like, there was a point where I can't believe we're still talking about Bottas, but there was a point where, when you're watching the Grand Prix and the start's kind of done and then you like start looking at your phone and stuff.
Yeah.
And then looked up and looked at the place. I was like, is Bottas in 13th, bro? I was like, what the hell is this guy on? Like,
it's traditions, man.
How traditions? Like, I can't believe it. So look, anyway, and also for George, there was an issue. They changed his warm-up routine. They said do a different warm-up routine for your tires, and it didn't go well, and that's why he locked into turn 1. And obviously because they'd already set an awful time on those old tires, that's why he basically his time was his time. But anyway, let's get into the race. There is someone else I want to mention, but I'll save it for like starts of the days and that. Let's get into the race. So let's start with, obviously, get off the line well, this, that, and the other. Charles Leclerc versus Max Verstappen. We were looking forward to it. 10 years in the making. There's been incidents before between them. Austria 2019. We've got Silverstone of the same year when they've gone toe to toe, which was some of the best. If you've never seen it, go and look up Charles Leclerc versus Max Verstappen, Silverstone 2019. Some of the best wheel-to-wheel racing I think you'll ever see in F1 cars. They were going at it for a long time, and Charles put Max in his place that day, and it would seem as if he did the same yesterday. What are your guys' thoughts on what we saw? So, a battle at the front. Red Bull clearly didn't have the pace, I think, to kind of match Ferrari.
No.
But through undercuts, and the undercut was really powerful. Obviously, we saw how warming up tyres were a bit of an issue. Charles versus Max, 3 laps in a row. Max overtakes into turn 1. First 2 laps, he then gets overtaken back into turn 4. I think on the third try, he locks up and he doesn't make the corner.
Yeah.
So you can hold that. So
I love how like
think of it?
Charles is like slowly moving in. We're the neighbors right now. We're in the house and we're looking over the road. And you know that video? What's that P Diddy video? He ain't.
Yeah.
Bad boys for life.
Bad boys for life. Bad boys
Yeah.
for life. We're seeing this guy. He's moved in. He's playing freaking golf
Playing
on
golf.
the roof.
Was
He's
it
like,
Puff Daddy? P
Puff
Diddy,
P.
whatever
Diddy,
it
Puff Diddy,
is.
Puff, whatever they call you nowadays.
Golf balls, not gonna fly.
You know what I mean? Like that story of the woman who went on holiday and a cockroach like slid into her ear and made eggs. That's Charles.
Pardon?
Oh, whoa. Pause.
Pardon? No, explain that. What? What do you mean?
You
You never heard of that before?
Mad. You never
What?
heard
No, you never heard that? Because the cockroach that went into the woman's ear and it laid eggs in her ear.
And
She
it
never
laid
knew.
eggs.
All she said was scratching for like weeks, just scratching in her ears.
Just scratching. That's all Max is gonna be hearing. You're scratching.
That laugh was evil. That's the most evil laugh I've ever heard.
Jesus Christ. That is wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He's moving in. He's got the paddling pool. He's got the trampoline in the back.
Yeah. There's a Chris Tucker stand-up gig where he talks about being so broke that the roaches have moved in and he can't get them to leave.
I think I've seen that.
Look, Max Verstappen is so broke that the Ferraris have moved in on his world title.
Yeah, trust me, that's white on white crime. That's got nothing to do with me, child. You know what I mean? That's got nothing to do with me.
Yeah,
you guys do your thing, innit? Like, cool.
I think it's early, but I don't know, man. Ferrari, I don't know what kind of Jesus juice they've been sipping on because they are gone. Like they
straight
are
from the Vatican.
Gone. Like
bro,
that engine has a lot more horsepower than the other engines because the way it was pulling from people, I was like, I saw the DRS open and nothing was happening. The cars just weren't catching it.
Lewis said that when he was trying to catch Carlos, when he had DRS, they were basically doing the same speed.
Bro, that's what I noticed that, and then it made me think that the DRS is either really weak on the Mercedes, or that engine is on some next level.
So there's a couple of things, and I learned some things the other day. I had a chat with Bryson for our pre-shows, and you can check that out on YouTube. I might put the whole conversation as a podcast after next week, and also whilst you're here, subscribe, like all of them things there. So we're talking about the new cars because of basically, so before the air would kind of go over the car, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because the air was going over the car, a bigger hole in the air would be made, so slipstream was more effective.
Yes.
Whereas these cars are built to be able to follow through corners better, and ground effect, a lot of the stuff goes underneath the car, and dirty air is not as much of an issue, so you can follow in corners. But in straights, there's not as big a hole in the air,
so the
for cars to follow.
Is minimized.
So the slipstream effect is not minimalized, but it's a lot less than, or is less than last year and previous iterations. So there's that. But you're right. If your engine is not as good, DRS is not going to bail you out, basically. Last year, your engine could be bad, but if you had DRS, you are going to overtake. This year, it would seem as if even with DRS, it's not guaranteed that you're going to be able to overtake the car. So having straight line speed is going to be really important this year, because if you've got straight line speed, and those Ferraris look very quick.
I did hear that the Mercedes were running a lot more downforce, though. They said they ran too much downforce this weekend.
Yeah, and I think there's a variety. And also, man, I'm telling you now, half an hour of Bryson, I feel like a mother sensei. Like,
Shut up, Bryson.
I learned so much. So actually, an issue with Mercedes, the porpoising, they're creating too much downforce, like basically, and so when they're going down the straight, because of the ground effect and the air going underneath their car, it's because the car is sucking too low to the ground. The faster it goes, that's why it's hitting the ground and bouncing up, hitting the ground and bouncing up. So, they've got too much and drag. And I think an issue with the drag is that because of the skinny side pods, they're still not figured out how to deflect the air away for their rear tires. And that's why they're having tire degradation issues as well. So it looks like there's a lot of things in Mercedes where they need to figure it out. They need to figure it out quick. I know, mate, Mercedes fans are not happy. People online are we sacrificed last year for this. I hear it, but I do think Ferrari look great, Red Bull look great. I just want to touch on this battle at the front. How do I put this in a way that's not? Do we think that Max Verstappen lacks racing IQ?
Yes.
But that's been apparent since his first came into F1.
That is always, and that's why he cries, because he doesn't know how to deal with the actual ongoing situation. He doesn't know how to think, right, I've got to make a quick strategy. That's why he cries, because everything that's ever come, and like any bad situation's either been rigged for him or the race has been altered for him. And so that's why he cries, because he's got no racing IQ.
Yeah. I found him doing the same thing to Charles 3 times, or Charles doing the same thing to him 3 times.
Unbelievable is the term. Unbelievable.
Thank you, Tommy.
Like, even me, who's not a professional racer, I would not do that. Like, it's just so apparent. Like, when I go karting, you fall for a move once, you don't fall for it 3 times.
3 times. And this is the thing about my guy, Shout out Max Verstappen, Shout out Verstappen fans, especially the ones that listen to this podcast, Like, how you do it, I don't know, because I couldn't, but obviously we must be very lit. And I love that for you. But your guy is talented, no doubt. I'm not going to fall into this trap of saying Verstappen's a pay driver or whatever. Like, Verstappen is a very good Formula 1 driver. Yeah. He will go down as at least top 20. Maybe top 10. He's got enough time to go down to top 10. Okay, I'm not going to. Do you know what I mean? If Red Bull give him a car that he can... He's won 20 races at the age of 24. Like, that's not a joke. Like, that's
he started racing at 16, so can we just...
He did. Okay. Look,
he's 24. He's been racing for a long time in F1, you know. Like, we can't. No, I need to address this, because people say Max Verstappen at 24 has more than this person and this person at F1. This guy was in an F1 car at, what was it, 16, right? He was in the F1 car at 16 or 17. He's been racing for near enough a decade. He better have some fucking wins. You have to block that one out, bro. But he better have some wins, because I don't know. I know certain drivers came in their first season and got wins. Even Charles in his first season in the Ferrari, in the first season of a decent car, he got a win. Lewis, first season, got a win. Lewis, first season, was fighting for the championship until the last race. Max Verstappen was crashing into people. I don't know.
Max Verstappen, for me, I'm tired of those people in my
Max Verstappen to me, like, he's a good driver, but I think people have put him on this weird pedestal because he's young. But he came in extra early, like. I don't know.
Devil's advocate. Okay, let's have this conversation. So, no, that he's mid. So, he messed up. He, I think falling for the same move 3 times. It reminded me of Lewis dumbing him in Bahrain twice.
Oh my goodness! Yes,
and the fact that he fell for the dummy twice in a row, his temperament, and I guess to add on to your point, right? Max's temperament he's been in the sport long enough now that his temperament inside the car needs to be better. Now, I don't doubt outside of the car, he's not saying that he wants to headbutt journalists now, and he's not pushing drivers like he was with Ocon. I guess we've passed that stage. Bar is in hell, but he has moved on from that. But inside the car, someone's battery is. I don't know if you got has someone got AirPods.
No.
I thought that was somebody's stomach. I'm not gonna.
Is that someone's stomach? Oh, okay.
Oh no, that's my microphone.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay. I thought it was like.
My bad.
I
adjusted it.
When your AirPods are on like 5%, and you're like, I was like, oh, someone's AirPods. So, his temperament outside of the car, inside the car needs to change. I think we've seen it so many times. Him just getting heated in the car. Lewis isn't allowed to just say my tires are gone before we've got think pieces about Lewis Hamilton, cry baby, Lewis Hamilton whining. Jeremy Clarkson, bruv, where are you? Where are you, bro? Because you're quick to get on Twitter with the Twitter fingers. I like Hamilton, but I wish you would just whine less. Speaking for every middle-aged white guy in the world. But you, now...
But not all of them think like Jeremy, because they all actually think he's a prick.
That's true.
50 minutes.
So, like... And obviously not all middle-aged right now, so I'm sure there's some that listen to this, but
I'm sure you're lovely, sir.
You're lovely, sir. But some of your age mates are not, from personal experience. So I'm just saying that, as an example, him, papers, journalists, Twitter people, Crymilton, Crybaby, you're photoshopping pictures of babies into Mercedes suits. You're like, racist stuff occurs if Hamilton speaks on the radio. We had a full-blown meltdown by this guy. And it wasn't just the engine failures, by the way, which I cannot wait to get to. But we're already in that part of the pod now. I can feel it. So, like, strategy. He was crying to the team about strategy because he wanted to, as usual, come out the pits, blitz his tires trying to catch Leclerc, and the team were like, he did it the first time, and they were like,
yo bro, you went fast enough.
But you have to chill because these tires now only lasted like 14 laps. We need to bring you in again. Don't do that again. And he's like, I could have gone faster, I would have beat him. I hate that Max Verstappen won a title because it validates how he is, because I don't think he has the mentality of a Formula One champion. And it was evident last season in Saudi, in Brazil, in so many instances. And I think it showed itself again yesterday. What do you guys think?
Yeah, you can tell he hasn't got... I don't know, he hasn't got that mentality of like a team leader. He hasn't got the mentality of a mature driver. I mean, there's drivers on the track that are younger than him that are more mature, like George Russell. And I think with the opportunity he's been given, he has been able to take everything for granted and take for granted not only his position and the opportunity he's been given, but take for granted the respect that he needs to show other people. It seems he has this a world revolves around me complex, and it's pretty sad.
Yeah.
I can't agree more.
Superiority complex.
Yeah, like the only thing that matters in his world is him, and that's it. Like nothing else matters. And no one else matters. The team doesn't matter. The Formula One doesn't matter. The other drivers don't matter. It's all about him. I need this, I need that, and if it's not going my way, I'm going to say it was this person's fault or that person's fault. I've never heard him take responsibility for anything. Even when he put it in the wall in Saudi Arabia, he didn't take responsibility. He just didn't comment on it. He just does not. I don't know. He doesn't acknowledge his own issues, and I think that
must be a nightmare to play board games with.
Oh my! Can you imagine?
Gosh.
Can you imagine?
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine?
What do you think?
Max Verstappen, when he plays for Monopoly, is definitely stealing money from the bank.
He's definitely
100%.
100%.
Or wondering why he wasn't given more money.
Yeah,
exactly. Well, why have we only been given
Max, you moved your dog. I didn't move it.
Max, why have you moved your dice 10 paces? The dice is 9. What's wrong with you? Unbelievable.
No, but that's not how I play it.
No, you know what? When you try and play cards, Max is the one who's bringing in next rules.
Yeah, like Uno. Oh my god, I bet
Max would be like, 3 means pick up 3. Huh? Where?
Yeah.
That's how we normally play it.
That's how we normally play it.
That's how we play it in my house.
Trust me.
Yeah,
Trust me.
But, you know, double DNF, talk to me dirty.
I love that, man. I love
that. So, Red Bull. How about those Red Bulls, eh?
Hey.
I
bet Honda's happy their logo isn't on the car now.
I'm bottom.
Oh my god, Honda were like, oh yeah, they're like, Red Bull, like, are these engines okay? They're right. They're like, yeah.
Yeah, man, you're good, G. You're good. Turn that all the way up. Turn that up.
Put that shit on 11, bro.
Nah, it's good, man. What?
Oh my god. Oh god, I love it. Look, you know, a round of applause for Oracle Red Bull Racing. God bless you, man.
I a little certain je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, there's something about it, man. There was just something about it. Something about seeing that happen. It just felt like the balance of the universe was being restored. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I saw it and it was just like everything was just as it should be.
Yeah.
Like, perfectly balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what, yeah? Oh, there's that LeBron meme where he's talking about he invented deluxe albums where he's like, you should release an album and then like 2 weeks later be like, you know what? Here's 2 more for y'all. And that's what God did. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna give you one more time. And I was like, wow, Max is God. This is incredible.
Bro, I was like, wow, this is mind blowing.
That's good. You know what? I'll take that. And then you just see Sergio Perez spinning up.
You know, his was embarrassing because he got to see everyone that was about to pass him. He was just, and then everyone just going past.
Like, watch it,
bruh.
But that's exactly what it is, isn't it? It's heavy is the head that wears the crown. And I think people thought the crown was very easy, but people don't realize there's literally people, knives, and fire sticks just underneath you.
Yeah,
and Max can't take that.
Yeah,
everyone's got a target on their back.
Mm-hmm.
But look, everyone. Toto said it. And I didn't know he was banging Juju. I didn't know Toto was there in his black.
Over Christmas, went to visit Baba Tunde, and they did their thing, innit? And I'm here for it.
100%. Toto done money ritual. I'm telling you now. This guy, that's why he was in the black suit and the black turtleneck. He done it. He did
when he had that little twinkle when he came out of court and he said, it's going to be all right.
Yeah, Joanne. Bro, I ain't never seen someone walk with more smugness in my life. This guy knew. This guy I got your op fired. Now I'm coming for you, bro. Dusty engines. Oh my God.
That's funny.
I cannot. And the thing is, it could not have happened to a better team. Like, you know when last week I said I was praying on their downfall, and it sounded like a bit mean, and it sounded like a bit harsh, and it was a bit mad to say it. But I'm so happy that I said it because I meant it. I really want them to like. And I think this is the thing with F1, F1, we've talked about it. You fans are too emotional, bruv. You're too emotional. I don't like your team.
I think you're almost as emotional as Chelsea fans. They're very emotional.
They're very, well, look, I think that's a whole conversation. Like, maybe we're not equipped to handle right now. But back to the Verstappen fans, who I hate just as much as Chelsea fans. You guys need to realise, you spent all the last season having your moment in the sun, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You were trolling social media. You're running up and down under Hamilton fans' posts, saying stuff. You racially abused our driver. You were just doing you were like absolutely horrible to coexist with last year. Okay.
Mm.
You team
you
LHU.
team LHU.
Team
I love Lewis fans. I hate team LH. Bro, do you know how they say it, bro?
Yeah,
And the thing
trust
is,
me.
some of the white team LH people, white Hamilton fans, they'll be, guys, I'm not a team LH.
I know.
You do it. We see you. We see you. We know what you're saying. Anyway, Verstappen fans, Red Bull fans. Personally, I wish you all the greatest success in your life. Wish you happiness. Wish you love. Wish you I just hope you're all healthy and all of them things there. I hope your team's in the mud this season, bro.
Yeah, no, I hear that.
I want you not to have reliability issues every race. I want you. Do you know what I want you to feel? Yeah, 2012 Hamilton McLaren season. I want your car to be fast, but so unreliable that you're never going to win the title. That's what I want for you. And I hope that it's horrible. I hope you tune in with a little bit of hope in your heart that it might be different and the car lets you down each and every week. Because if what happened yesterday is anything to go by, it is going to be absolutely hilarious watching your team suffer. God bless. God bless you all.
Imagine if this whole season is just them all, like the Mercedes, the Ferrari, and the Red Bulls just fighting, and then the little Haas just comes in and sweeps everything.
Imagine. God forbid.
Please no.
God forbid.
What I've really but you know what? I've really seen this week a lot of Magnussen fans. I didn't even realize he would have.
Because no. He hasn't got that many fans. People just like.
I'm getting DMs from people like
to do that.
Nyasha, make the Magnussen fan cam. I'm thinking, the who? The whomst?
So you must be new around here, bro. I love you.
Everyone loves him.
I love the fans. I love you guys. But
are you new here?
You new? Yeah.
Are you new here?
I love it. I will say this as well, guys. When you say you should do this fan cam, you have to realize, I'm not gonna do it unless there's an idea Trayvon gave me that I started doing. And then I had to shelve it because something else happened and I made a fan cam about that. But you have to realize I take hours doing these things, and I have to want to do it.
No one's trying to look through notes.
No one's Googling clips of Kevin Magnussen looking sexy.
Do you know what I mean?
Clips of Kevin Magnussen adjusting his crutch. He's doing that.
No, I feel bad enough doing that for Hamilton. Let alone do you know what I mean? So guys, but thank you for the support on the fan cams. That was it's really cool to see them share and get shared far and wide. I did think a part of me when I posted the fan cam of the last episode, I did think that we were gonna get cancelled.
Do you know what?
I did. I posted it and then I deliberately didn't look at it. And
I was in bed and then I was like,
This is risky. It was risky. Look, big risk and reward, right?
Mm-hmm.
I risked it, and it went. Everyone liked it,
yeah.
So it was good, but it was a risky one. I'm not gonna.
It was very risky, wasn't it?
It was a risky one, but also
that's what makes us different from everybody else. Because do you know what? Everyone else is just going, yes, Master.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Yeah. Everyone is like. The one thing I like about this podcast, and one thing I like about your outlet and your channel is that you just keep it 100. You're not afraid to say how you feel it is. Do you know what I'm saying? You're not afraid to have an opinion. You're not afraid to speak out against the majority. And like I said last time I was on, one thing I don't get is these YouTubers with this platform where they can say whatever they want and they're choosing to just regurgitate what's being said on Sky, what's being said on BBC, just what's being said in Formula One in general. And I think that's really... It's really sad that people think they need to do that in order to succeed in the world.
But it's because of... look, I saw... What did I say? I saw Tomo the other day. He did his predictions, right? And look, Tomo, he's massive, and he's a lovely person. I do, out of everyone, I actually do genuinely think that he is... I would say 90%. What's the word? Not biased, like
Objective.
impartial. Right? I don't think he actually he has an album prop, and I do think he probably did want Max to win the title a little bit because I think everyone wanted someone else other than Hamilton to win the title. But I don't think it was like an aggressive one. But anyway, he did some predictions the other day, and he put Seb Vettel and Aston Martin down in like 17th or something.
Sounds about right to me.
And Seb fans were just like all on him, like, what you're saying about Seb, you're this guy, look at this guy, and like really like getting at him. And it's just like, because he did a video like, Aston Martin could be good in like 5 years. And they're like, you're using Seb for views, but when it comes to predictions, and it's like, look, yeah. And I said this on Twitter today. Content creators are not here. You know what it's like, yeah? You know what it's like, yeah? F1 Twitter are like people who go to nightclubs and expect DJs to just
play their music,
the stuff that they have on their playlist.
Yeah.
And it's like, you just want to go out and hear the songs that you like because you like them and you think it's good. But you're not allowing yourself to be curated by anyone else. You're not allowing anyone else to have different tastes, different opinions. Mm-hmm. If you don't like that, don't engage in it.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why. And for us, it's like
requesting Talib Kweli in the middle of a DJ EZ set. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not
happening.
No, it's not happening. And so I guess we've gone on for the tangent a bit, but I just wanted to say, like, this section might annoy people and, whatever, but this is our platform and we get to say this stuff because we want to. We own this and, like, we're going to say what we want. So if you don't like it...
On that note... subscribe to our Patreon. I'm joking. Subscribe
to
Okay.
We're back. Charlotte had to fight.
Yeah, I was saying, but I think he did the best. I said the Mercedes did really well, but they didn't. I don't think they had a fight on their hands. But they did. The Mercedes did as good as they would have done. But I think Charles, there were moments where it could have gone really bad for him, and he did really well.
Very, very true. I'm going to give... I think Lewis did obviously great, and he had to be in that position to get the podium. The Mercedes were just kind of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing if it would stick with strategy, but I guess they had to gamble, and we'll see. But the pit stops weren't great, so they do need to fix that. I'm going to give it to Kevin Magnussen, who we've not mentioned.
You're going to make a fan cam?
I am not going to make a fan cam for Kevin Magnussen. I'm going to be very honest. I never understood the hype with Kevin Magnussen. I think K-Mag. This is his third comeback. I didn't think he was that great next to Grosjean. I think he was better than Grosjean, but I don't think the bar is that high in that instance. Obviously, he kind of struggled at McLaren, but I think that was more down to the car than anything. But for you to come back on such short notice with a year out of the sport, a couple of days of testing, and then to stick that car in I think it was 7th, and then to finish there, finishing 5th. Obviously with the retirements, I think that's just great.
Came back with a vengeance.
Really done well. I think that's really cool. It's really lovely. I've seen like him with his daughter there, and it was just really, it's like a good comeback story. And you know what? It's nice to see his comeback story. And I just want to, I thought I used to hear about people talking about it, and I just never really got it, but that really needs to be applauded. And sometimes there are gaps in your knowledge, and maybe there was a K-Mag hole in my knowledge, and I'm happy to admit that. And I think that he done really well. So big up to Kevin Magnussen. Donkeys of the day.
I think you should call it bulls of the day, because boy, I just give it to the whole Red Bull team right there, boy.
Oh, really? Fair.
Hold that. Hold it all.
But do you know what? Like, I gave it to the Bulls, but at least we actually saw the Bulls. Did we see any of McLaren the whole race, guys? Did we see any of them, man?
I mean, at least they finished.
Ooh.
What would you rather
I'll do
have?
that. I'll do that.
Imagine turning up to the whole race to
Yeah,
have
I'll
it all
do that.
snatched in the last 5 laps. Yeah.
Do you guys think the race would have been any different if Vettel didn't have coronavirus?
What?
I wanted to talk about something different.
He's lucky he's got coronavirus, bro. What do you... No, respectfully, no, respectfully. Like, I mean...
He's like, coronavirus is so 2021. Sorry.
What I mean, look, as someone who has still got it, I think riddled with it. Yeah, I know, right? I wouldn't wish it on anyone. And I hope he's okay. What would I say about Seb? All I'm saying is that he's been spared getting into a car that is obviously awful and performing awfully this weekend. And
we don't actually know if the car's awful.
That's what I mean. That's why I asked, didn't it? We don't know if
a certain somebody in one seat and someone else that hasn't driven in Formula 1 for a while in the other seat.
I even... But didn't Hulkenberg...
He finished
Hulkenberg
17th,
outperformed Stroll in qualifying.
Yeah, but Stroll's embarrassing, and we've been knowing Stroll's embarrassing.
That makes you think, how bad is the Aston Martin then? Because if a man can come and beat you by significant... Well, what was the difference in places between Stroll and Hulkenberg?
2 places, and the difference... Oh, my God. We're talking about 2.5 tenths here. That is ridiculous.
And Hulkenberg hasn't raced full time since 2020, I think it was. Is it 2020?
2.5 tenths.
It's kind of ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
Which leads me to our next question. Do we need the guy on the grid? No.
Lance?
No. Vettel.
Oh, is this what we're doing now? I mean, I'll do it, but...
I'll jump if you jump.
Let's not jump because he's got COVID.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's not kick him out when he's down.
COVID awareness and then things.
But there is a conversation to be had about Seb, I think. But
let's let him drive a car first.
Yeah. And
then we'll see. There is a conversation to be had about Nicholas Latifi. I'll tell you that right now.
There has always been.
No, because you know what? We weren't allowed to say bad stuff after Abu Dhabi because they were like, I got some death threats. I didn't send death threats. I don't think anyone sent death threats. Everyone just calls you shit. But like, all I'm saying is like you can't.
He's a drip though, isn't he?
He's so bad. He's so bad. Like, look, I know there's people who are from like Williams and like listen to like Williams fans who listen and like you know what? Yeah, hand on my heart. Didn't think Alex Albon would perform as well as he did. He's good. Got the most out of that car. Nicholas Latifi.
This just makes you understand that the argument of pay drivers is just insane. Teams taking pay drivers, it's not helping them. Because imagine if K-Mag wasn't K-Mag this weekend and it was a certain person from a country we shall not speak of in that car. Do you think they would have finished in that position? Hell no. People would still be like, oh, Haas is still in the mud. Haas isn't in the mud. So I'm feeling like if you get rid of another paid driver and you actually put someone that can drive, where would the Williams be?
Yeah, I mean, look, Alex Albon qualified 14th, I think finished. I mean, look, I think that Williams, unfortunately, doesn't look like it's made that much of a step forward. But I think in Albon, you've got someone like George who will get the most out of it, basically. And I think that's all we can hope for. Albon finished 13th, you know, ahead of the McLarens on pace.
Whew, gosh,
that is mad. That is crazy.
Boy, I mean, I don't know. McLaren have a lot of issues, like in general, and I think this has really made their whole thing a lot worse.
Oh man, that is bad. So look, I think my donkey is obviously other than Red Bull, my donkey is Nicholas Latifi. I just honestly,
no, I hear it.
Qualifying last, right, is bad when your teammate made it into Q3 again.
Yeah.
Like, so you've got a new teammate who's now sticking it on you even more than he was, than the person last season was. And in the race, you finish 2 seconds in front of Nico Hulkenberg. Like, what are you doing here? Like, what are we doing here? What are you doing here? I just can't fathom it. So I'm gonna say that person is going to be my donkey of the day. Just want to shout out Yuki going from 16th to 8th.
Yeah,
really tremendous.
Poor Gasly, his car set on fire. That was a bit shit on him.
Yeah, that's a bit. But again, Red Bull engines.
Red Bull powertrains. Red Bull
powertrains falling
based
off the
in Milton
tracks.
Keynes.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
allegedly, definitely not
Ain't
based in
nobody going to
Japan.
Milton Keynes.
Right, bruv.
How did the new guy Zoe? Is it Zoe?
Zhou Guan Yu
did really
got
well.
a point.
He did 10.
He got a point, man. Yeah.
I'm
So
really here for that for him, you know.
He got a point. He didn't. Certain people with strong family names didn't get a point. Got out qualified by a guy that turned up the other day. So certain man might be here on name alone. That's what the streets are saying. That's what
the streets are saying.
That's what someone had been trying to say for a minute. But you know what? He did get nerfed by Ocon on the first lap. So let me not be too harsh. But
then.
That's it. So, guys, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us, seeing as I'm here all the time.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming on again. Guys.
You know what? You are like Questlove of our Saturday.
Careful. I ain't nobody's Questlove.
You know, do we not like Questlove? You know, like Questlove is like the band on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so like a resident.
We love Questlove.
Yeah.
Play some I ain't that guy.
You're talking to a fucking producer. You're like, oh, you're like a drummer.
Oi, I respect Questlove. Stop that right now.
Yeah, I
I'll think of someone better next time. I'll think of someone better.
Yeah, please think.
Yeah. And on that note,
we lived it. We loved it.
We loved it. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. As always, thank you for the support on everything. Make sure you're following us, subscribed, all them things there. We'll see you for the Saudi Arabia post-race review. Thandie, have you come up with a catchphrase?
Oh, well, that was actually it. We lived it. Oh. We loved it.
Oh my God. Imagine saying your catchphrase and then someone goes to you, have you come up with a catchphrase yet?
No. I'm going back to the
drawing board. I'm going back to the drawing board. No. No.
You wanted to live, laugh.
Hi, guys.
Unbelievable. What is this podcast?
That was atrocious.
Not to live, laugh. I'm going back to the drawing board.
Yeah,
Hi, guys.
Okay.
This is what
bye.
Bye.
See you in a bit, guys.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Arrivederci.